Is the mic still pasted on you? Good, Jay? Yeah, okay. Hello? There's this, it's on his chest. It's still, it's in a good spot actually. Oh, never mind. 3, 2, 1.
Everyone, thank you so much for being back with us. If you're watching live on Instagram, you're getting to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because me and Radhi are trying to figure out what's going on in between. If you're missing some of the visuals, if you're watching on Instagram, it's because we can't yet broadcast to Instagram. So you're missing some of the educational aspects and some of the details and insights on something that's going on. You can always have YouTube and Facebook playing alongside of you as well. Again, we want to thank all the donors. We want to thank each and every one of you that has been a part of this already. And next, we have someone that we want to introduce you to.
We have one of my sweetest best friends, Payal Kadakia. She is the founder of Class, an artistic director of Sa Dance Company that was created to increase awareness of Indian dance across the world. And she does it so...
Make sure that's muted. Or that's not
so happy to have you here, Payal. Thanks so much for joining.
Hi guys, how are you?
We're
so good,
to
Payal.
see
Thank you for tuning in. Payal, I wanted to
Payal, start off by asking you,
watched you share your heritage.
We've watched you share your heritage. Your love for dance.
Indian classical, beautiful places. We've seen you perform at Bryant Park. We've seen you perform in the Bay. We've had the fortune of seeing just you bring joy to what you do. You've always been so driven by the idea of sharing your Indian culture with the world. Could you share with us the role that India has played and impacted in your life?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel really grateful that my mom had this best friend who was so charitable that she would train, 60 girls on the weekends in Indian folk dances, all different styles from all over India. And she really bestowed this knowledge upon all of us. And she was teaching us stories of India, right? She was teaching us more than just here's a dance step and here's the music. She was teaching us where we came from. And I feel always so grateful for that. I think at the time when I was younger, I didn't always appreciate it. But as I've gotten older, I've really appreciated how much that art has really transformed who I am, and that passion, which gave me such a deep sense of identity. It gave me such a sense of who I was living in America when, I lived here and I didn't get the chance to grow up in India, but I felt so connected to where I came from through her and through this rich culture that she taught me and all these girls. And we would practice and go to these dance competitions on the weekends. We got to connect with our beautiful community. So it's been a huge part of my life. And I think, as I started my company, I realized how much these deep talents and passions become such a big part of our lives, and they really come from the root and the deep place of where we come from. And for me, that's my Indian heritage that has always been a part of who I am.
Whenever I you about where your inspiration
from, you always talk about women, and especially Indian women being a huge inspiration and source of power for you. Can you share a little bit more on that? Every time you speak about it, it touches my heart, and I think it's really wonderful to share with everybody.
Yeah, I always feel like the Indian woman is one of the least celebrated women, but she is the most incredible woman on earth, and I always get asked this question, Payal, you've done all these things. How did you do it being an Indian woman? And being an Indian woman is really my superpower. It's really what's made me so incredible in doing everything that I can. And, my mom, she hustled, she gave me this incredible sense of hard work, an incredible sense of discipline in being able to go after everything and anything I could. So I just am so grateful that I am an Indian woman and that I was able to have that heritage and these generationally incredible women. My mom always tells me stories of her mom, how she would, go to get water from the river just to put food on the table. And I think of those stories and I see that as a working woman, someone who is really providing for her family. And I just think she's just such an incredible woman with this indomitable human spirit that is incredible.
That's so wonderful.
Indian mums is special. I mean, all mums, but I know what you mean about mums. You just find that they have so much strength beyond what you could even imagine having.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Payal. I was wondering, when you think of India,
first
what's
thing
the first thing that comes to your mind?
You know, it's the closeness. I think, you know, growing up in America, we're used to growing up in our immediate family, right? Like I remember I grew up with my mom and dad and my sister, and I always remember the first trip I took to India. I stayed with my my Masi, and there was about like 10 of us living in one apartment, and I wasn't used to that, you know, and I remember on day one being like, how am I going to do this? But by the month and the last day I left, I remember crying because I had just never felt that kind of closeness, right? We aren't around that all the time. We're kind of used to our sort of nuclear families here. And in India, it's not like that. And I think that sense of close-knit community, the sense of family that they have is just so incredible. And I think it's always made me appreciate, you know, my family, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles in a much different way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Family. If you meet someone
that's Indian, they'll always make you feel like family.
Absolutely. That's like you guys, right?
Yeah.
And we, you know, being close friends with you guys, it's amazing to even just have that with each other. You know, I think there is something to our community, something to our values that always connect us. And I think that's really all from where we came from.
Oh, we love you.
We're so grateful, Payal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being
So grateful everyone is watching. Please donate as you're watching right now.
It's making a
huge difference. And I just want to announce that while we were doing this interview, YouTube have just donated $100,000
Wow.
to this initiative with us right now as well. So that will be doubled today,
which is a 200,000
donation. We're so grateful, Payal, that you joined us today.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you soon. We're coming over later.
Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.
That was amazing. It's so wonderful to connect with all of our friends, uniting together. Please, please, please. If you're sitting at home and you can share this, you can pass it along, you can recommend it to someone. I apologize if there have been any technical difficulties or if there have been any audio issues. We're trying our best on our end, and the production company's trying their best to make sure that everything's working out. So if you have had any issues, we apologize from our side. Stay tuned, watch this video, and Instagram, let's do a bit of behind the scenes. Let's go. Hey, Instagram, so we're hanging with you. We're just getting to chill with you while these videos are played. I want to thank everyone on Instagram who's joining us live. It means the world to me that you guys are with us. Go on, Radhi.
Let me read.
Give them some love.
There are 4,287 people watching right now. Hey to everyone. Oh, no, I'm not.
You're not bad yet.
I've never done this before.
Go on. See what
Oh. There are so many people joining from different places.
Thank you, Will. Thank you so much. Amazing. We are back, and I'm going to be introducing another good friend of ours. And this person's going to help us get our mindset right and get our thoughts right. I know so many of you want to support, so many of you want to help, but often the hardest thing about helping is making sure that we feel healed, that we feel helped, that we feel centered and aligned and balanced to be able to give something to others. So the guest that I'm about to bring on has stayed up well past his bedtime. It is none other than my friend, CEO of Mind Valley, Vishen Lakhiani. Vishen, thank you so much for joining us.
So good to see you, Vishen.
Joining us.
Hey, Jay, Radhi, it's nice to be joining you guys all the way here from Estonia. And I'm so proud of what you guys are doing.
Well, we're so grateful. I know it's something like, it's well past your bedtime, as I said. It's really late. You stayed up in Estonia to help us with this. And Vishen, I wanted to ask you a question because, you know, you practice so many different methodologies and mindsets. And people are struggling with their mental health. In India, people in India, of course, are struggling with so many challenges. What are some of the things you can suggest that we can all daily in our lives to help us feel more alive, so that we can be of service to others?
Jay, I think the most important thing that people can be doing right now is a concept called loving kindness meditation. Like, if there's one thing that COVID has shown us, is that we are so much more deeply connected than we ever imagined, right? This started out in one country. It spread all across the world. And I think what people need to understand is that we are so connected as a species that even if we were able to end COVID in every country in the world, that one country had a COVID disaster because of rates of mutation, because of viral spread, all of us are in danger. And so never before has everyone all across the world, every scientist, every doctor, every researcher had to collaborate at such an advanced level. There's never been a singular threat against the human species that resulted in this much cross-national collaboration. And I think that is one thing that has really shifted about where we are behaving as humans. Now that brings me to the mindset shift. The mindset shift is we have to understand that although we are individuals, we are part of a larger species, and there are certain practices that I encourage people to do to help us feel more connected to each other. One of the most common ones is loving kindness meditation. And it's really simple. Every day when I start my meditation, I imagine myself connected to a higher power. I breathe in, I breathe out. As I breathe out, I imagine a bubble of love filling first me, and then my household and everyone in the household, then the little town I'm in, and then the country I'm in, and then the entire world. And by the time you get to the entire world, it's maybe your seventh or sixth exhale. But there's something really interesting when you practice this meditation. You start feeling more connected with everyone around you, with all life. And the world starts feeling like a safer, nicer place. I think it overrides a part of our mind that sometimes makes us suspicious of others or judge others. It makes us feel more safe, but it also makes us more deeply connected. And it's a quality that's so important in the world right now. I'm sure you'll agree.
I agree. I think energy is so powerful and it's almost so subtle.
It's almost so subtle that we don't realize how powerful it is. But being able to put that,
even if it's just
even if it's just the people around us feeling it, and then those people
spread it to more people. It
has the power to more people. It has the power to be able to, reach so many people far away from us too. And thank you so much for sharing that meditation. I'm definitely going to be trying that. I think it was so powerful. And I think if you do it with your heart and with good intention, I have no doubt that it can reach people in India no matter where you are.
Vishen, tell us a bit about why you want to get involved today. I know when I messaged you as well, I know very keen to get involved while I was still figuring it out. Across the world, what inspired you today to get involved, and why do you think people need to get involved in today and become a part of today? And
what happened was, it's the school holidays, so I was driving with my kids to an Airbnb. I'm currently in the countryside. That's why my internet is so crummy. And I got a message from you as I was in the car, and it said, sending this to all my South Asian friends. And Jay, I know when I get a message from you, it's something really, really, really important. So I was thinking and this is the first time you've called me like a South Asian friend. So I couldn't check the message, but I was playing this game in my head. What could Jay be messaging me about that relates to me being South Asian? And the thought that came to my head is, you were casting for a Bollywood movie and you thought of me. And all of a sudden I got really excited. I was thinking, finally, my childhood dreams of being in a Bollywood movie are going to manifest thanks to Jay Shetty. I knew Jay was going to make it to Bollywood, and I'm so honored that he's giving me probably a tiny role, but that I'm going to be in that movie with him. And then the next thought was, I don't speak Hindi. And so then the thought in my head was, oh, how fast can I learn Hindi? How fast can I learn Hindi? Does Duolingo offer Hindi classes? And then finally I pulled up at a gas station. I checked the message and I'm like, oh, COVID fundraiser, equally important. I'm all in. No, but to give a serious answer, I've lost, my family has really lost one aunt to COVID. And a week ago, my father messaged me, and his friend in India passed away because of COVID. And so it's starting to get really real. It's affecting people in my family. And it can be traumatic when you lose a friend, when you lose a relative. I'm here in this house with the grandmother of my children, and she lost her sister to COVID just 2 weeks ago. And so it's something that's just high in our mind, and I'm super happy that you and Ravi are doing everything you can to support this.
Well, thank you so much, Vishen, for joining. We appreciate you so much. And while you were live with us, we just 15,000.
We just found another 15,000 that has come in. There's been a 10,000 donation.
We're so grateful for those large donations.
We're so grateful.
All donations
that are coming in. All donations.
Thank you, Vishen. We're so grateful
for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Your wonderful insight.
Have a good sleep.
And I am just blown
Yeah,
away.
and thank you. I'm still open for Bollywood roles.
I'm so deeply amazed and grateful at all the love that's coming in. Honestly, it's it's truly heart-touching. You know, yesterday, one of our amazing friends, Sean Mendez, jumped on Instagram and shared it. He donated 50,000 himself and set up a fundraiser on his page. It was absolutely phenomenal to see that. I'm so grateful for his support. And now I want to go to a video that you're all going to see if you're on Facebook or YouTube, why someone who I just messaged her about this with no expectation. She came back and she was like, Jay, of course, I'm going to send you a video. I'm going to put up a fundraiser. None other than actress and model Amanda Cerny. Watch this video. And Instagram, stay with us.
But also check out YouTube or Facebook. Hey, everyone. Where is everyone tuning in from? If you want to watch the video, you can go ahead to YouTube or Facebook, and you can see all the footage that's being shown on there. Thank you so much to Amanda Cerny for that video and for supporting. It was so sweet of her to do that, and you can tell she's got so much love for the community. So thank you so much. Next up, we have none other than Jay Sean. He is a British singer, songwriter, and record producer. My teenage memories are definitely filled with his music, and I probably know most of the lyrics to all of his songs. And pretty much, he's just a legend. So thank you, Jay, so much for being with us.
Jay Sean, thank you for being in the house.
Just pressed go live with you. There we are. Now we're working on all channels. How are we doing?
It's so good to see you and hear the kids too. Sending them all.
Oh yeah, the kids are in the background. What can you do? It's COVID times.
We love it. We love it, man. Jay, you're one of the, you're one of the first the first UK Asian artist and a pioneer in bringing Bhangra music into the mainstream R&B scene. First Indian pop. Could you tell us a little bit more about that journey? How you were able to infuse Indian culture, Indian music, inspiration in your work, but able to your own style as well, which I think you did first and phenomenally.
Thank you so much, man. You know, honestly, I think for me, it was a matter of wanting to do something that felt right to me, that felt unique to me. And I thought, okay, I love R&B, I love hip hop, but I also grew up on Bollywood music. I grew up on Bhangra music. I grew up with all of this beautiful Indian influence. And I thought, how can I marry the two? So that, because what I am is I'm British Indian, right? So those are my two cultures. So I tried to put that into the music, and Rishi Rich and I just pulled something off that was, I think, very organic. And I think for a lot of the people who lived in England, you know, they were like, this speaks to me because that's exactly who I am. This is both of my identities. So I think it was meant to be, man.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
of course.
Who were your favorite
or biggest Indian artist inspirations growing up that had influence in your work?
I think in terms of Indian artists, the playback singers, people like Sonu Nigam, to me has always been such a phenomenal voice. And I don't know, man, his voice is so silky smooth that I just, it gives you know what I mean? It gives you those feels. It's like it hits you right here in your heart. And it was actually really cool. I got to do a song with him, and I was on, I think it was X Factor or one of those, and we did like a little beatbox collaboration. He did Kal Ho Na Ho, and I did a little beatbox. So it was just it was nice to sort of meet your heroes in real person, and then to get a chance to actually sing with them was incredible.
That's amazing, man.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, that's so beautiful. Yes, hear that mutual appreciation. I think that's what I love about what we're doing today. Again, everyone when we said yes straight away. We're doing this. We're about to get.
You know, wherever we are today,
tell me about what's
favorite
your
thing
favorite
about our culture.
For you personally.
Yeah.
Family and the devotion to family, the love for family. You know, I mean, it's the joke, isn't it? Like, I was your classic fat Punjabi kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, just, I would be overfed by my daddy, because obviously, you know, being in a Punjabi household, we live with our grandparents, a lot of us, and so I'd go and eat at school, and then I'd come home and go, Daddy, I'm still a bit hungry. And and she's giving me roti and food, and then my mom's coming in and going, why did you feed him? I fed him already. But it was just one of those. It's just love. And we speak our love through food as well, I think.
Absolutely, 100%. True. If you go to an Indian person's house, there is no way you're leaving without eating something. Like, that will never happen.
No way.
There's any way to serve, any way to give. When they know you're not in India, they will invite you into their house and feed you in some way.
It's so true. My non-Indian friends love it. They're always like, yeah, we're going to Jay's house. We're going to get a free curry.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. That's amazing. Jay, thank you so much for being here. Is there a last message you want to share with everyone? Something that's on your mind?
I do. Jay, Raji, first of all, I just want to say, you know what, big up yourselves for putting this, you know, on so sort of last minute, but it is really important. And what I've been saying to everyone, and particularly to my fans, here's the big difference. When you go on Instagram or you're on social media and you see something, you know, a global disaster or something will happen in the news. So all of a sudden the pray for India comes up, pray for Pakistan, pray for whatever country it may be that's gone through something horrendous. And that's nice. It's nice to put that out because it's spreading awareness, and also you are sending your prayers, but you got to do as well. You can't just pray for me and then move on and start scrolling through other people's stuff. Do. This is your chance to do. This is your chance to actually give now. And we've made it so easy. Click on the picture. Click on the picture, click on donate, and do something. And collectively, all of our fan bases, we can make a massive, massive difference. So please, guys, I urge you to do that.
Yeah. Well said, Jay.
Well said, Jay. Jay, that's amazing.
Thank you, man. Well said.
Thank you, man. Well said.
So wonderful to see you, and yes, thank you again.
Absolutely. Love to you guys.
Love you, bro. Love to the family.
Love to the family. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
So much more for you, and watch this video.
Hey, Instagram, I'm going to come spend some time with you. I hope you guys are doing really, really good. I'm happy to be hanging with you right now. Jeremy, good to see you. Seema, thank you so much. I'm glad you're donating. If anyone donates right now, it would make a huge difference to us, guys. We're so close to our target. We're so close to making it happen. I know there's a bit of an echo. I know it's not perfect, but I promise you that your impact is being heard, right? Like, your voices are being heard, your impact's being heard. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone. I'm seeing so many people saying it means so much to you. It means so much to me. Honestly, it means so much to me that you guys are here right now and that you're involved in this fundraiser. Thank you so much. So in between, I am talking to Instagram for anyone who's wondering what we're up to. But so far, I just want to say this is huge. Just in the last 10 minutes, we raised another $17,000.
Wow.
Thanks to each and every one of you. Our total right now is $717,977. Thanks to each and every single one of you. I want you to give yourselves a massive round of applause. I want you to hug the closest person to you. I want you to send that love across the world. That's the impact you're making. We set a target 48 hours ago to raise $1 million. And thanks to our $1 million partner, Indiaspora, they're going to double that. So if we raise $1 million together today, it will be $2 million by the end of today. So please remember, everything that you donate today is being matched. Whether you're watching on Instagram, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, I really, really want to make sure that you realize that we are doubling that impact today and making an impact on all of these NGOs and charities. It's now time for our next guest. He is an author, he is a poet, he is a rapper. He's one of my favorite people to sit down and have philosophical, deep conversations with.
And he's just so cool.
He is none other than Humble the Poet. Humble the Poet, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, Humble. I wanted to start off by asking you about, you share a lot about how prominent Indian culture is in America and across the Western countries. I was wondering if you could share a little bit more about that here for us.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, born and raised in Canada, as a visible minority, you come across certain challenges. And as you see over time, as more and more Eastern influence makes it over the pond, more people have a better, deeper understanding of who we are and what we bring to culture, what we bring to heritage, what we bring to philosophy. And, it's in no short part, to the contributions of Jay of taking some of these ideas and making them more digestible for other people. But, whether you're putting turmeric in your food, whether you're, practicing yoga, certain words, namaste, karma, chakras, all of these different ideas, it goes to show how much we're influenced now by Eastern philosophy and South Asia in general. And now is a wonderful opportunity to pay homage, to show support to a part of the world that's done so much for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I was looking at some information online, and it was saying how India actually contributes to 28% of the world's tea production. It's the largest exporter of spices worldwide. And actually a lot of the clothing companies that we wear on a day-to-day basis and furniture companies all have their manufacturing all have their manufacturing factories in India. And so, I don't think we realize really how much we use that has had some sort of influence from India in our homes on a daily basis. And I think it's really important that you're spreading that message, because it's lost most of the time. We don't think of where things are coming from these days. So thank you so much for highlighting that.
Yeah, Humble, you're one of the most reflective and introspective people I know, right? Like whenever we get together, you're always thinking about things differently. You're always asking questions. You're one of these really curious people that I know. Tell me about what your reflection is telling you about what's happening in the world right now. Like, I want to hear from your heart, because I know that you've got a beautiful heart, and I want to hear from there. Like, what's kind of your reflection and introspection as you're seeing these events, as we're all trying to come together today, about your love for your heritage and culture that you beautifully present in your music videos. I want to hear from that place.
Yeah, completely. I think, the unique thing about this pandemic is that everybody was thinking about the exact same problem at the exact same time. The entire world was connected, focused on this one thing. And as time went on, we slowly got a little bit fractured. Different parts of the world were making progress quicker than others, whether it's through lockdowns, whether it's through access to vaccines, whether it's through different policies. And a lot of the worst case scenarios we were fortunate not to have to experience. And now what we're realizing is, even if certain pockets of the planet are making progress, that doesn't mean, we're out of the woods. The celebration of the end of this pandemic happens when it's eradicated from this planet, not just from our little bubbles. And so many people have the privilege and the luxury to question policies, to question the freedoms that we have, to whether it's to wear a mask, whether you want to take a vaccine or not. But the truth of the matter is, that isn't a privilege afforded to everybody. And what we have to do, my mom always, says it to me. She says, focus on the needy, not the greedy. And what we have is one of the most populous countries in the world going through a nightmare scenario. And this is the opportunity. We were way more connected, I feel, a year ago. And now we've become more fragmented. This is an opportunity for us to rekindle that spirit of unitedness. And even if you're living in a part of the world where COVID may not be the biggest threat anymore, here's your opportunity to share attention, share your resources, share your love and your energy towards a group of people who are feeling it the worst. And for me, I think that's been the biggest wake-up call. Every day I would wake up. I'm in Toronto. We're still in lockdown. And, a part of you would feel really bad for what we're going through. And in the moment, it became very clear that what India was going through was significantly worse. It put things in perspective. And I think when we go through challenging times, there's an opportunity to feel sorry for ourselves, but there's a better opportunity to build empathy and connection with other people who have always been going through this. A lot of the problems that have led us to what's going on in India, it's not an overnight thing. And here's our opportunity to not only address these issues, but to put in place permanent solutions to ensure they don't happen again.
I completely agree. And yeah, it's so difficult sometimes when you are coming out of the pandemic and things are getting better to really remember that there are people that are still going through it. And, you know, I was reading about how actually India's position at the moment during COVID is going to affect everybody if it is not controlled. There can be a mutation in the virus that can actually end up affecting everybody, even people who are vaccinated. So really trying to contain the spread is going to be beneficial for every single person around the world, not just for people of India. So thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for sharing from your heart.
Yeah,
completely. I think just remember, we all live in the same house. We're all in the same home.
Yes.
And just because one part of your house is on fire, it doesn't mean you can ignore it because you're on the other corner of the house. You know, this will not be sorted until we're all free from COVID, till we're all immune, till we've all addressed this. And I think it's a really important thing to realize that just because this is happening potentially a whole ocean away, this started an ocean away. And this will spread again an ocean away. So let's realize that we're part of one big global family, beyond borders, beyond race, beyond belief. And, you know, this will only be conquered once we work together. All we got is each other.
Absolutely.
Powerful words, Humble. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you so deeply, man. And your message is, you know, super strong for all of us to remember today. Whether you live in India or outside of India, we're all being affected, as Radhi and Humble were speaking about. We just raised another $10,000 just during that conversation.
Hey.
I want to thank you all.
Lovely.
For donating. Thank you, Humble. Thank you all for donating during this time. It is making a huge difference. And if you see me checking my phone, it's because literally I'm getting messages left, right, and center from people I know, people I've never heard of donations. Literally, I'm just checking my phone because someone's saying to me, hey, I want to donate this. Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I help in this way? This is what we're doing today. We're all coming together so powerfully to make a change. Each and every single one of you are. Whether you're watching, whether you're donating, whether you're one of our participants and guests, we're all in this together. And me and Radhi just want to deeply thank you. And now we want to thank one of our friends who couldn't be with us here today, but he's kindly sent a video. He's a star of Big Bang Theory, the one and only Kunal Nair. Hey, Instagram, I'm enjoying these little catch-ups with you during this time. Thank you for all the love.
Thank you, everyone, for staying on.
I know, it's amazing.
Thank you so much, Kunal, for that video, for encouraging everybody to donate. And next up, we have the wonderful Janina Gavanko. She is an American actress and a musician. She's currently starring in one of the most popular TV shows called The Morning Show, and someone I really feel works hard to change and correct the representation of Indians in media. Thank you so much for being here, Janina, and I'm so happy to see you. Of course.
Janina, thank you so much for responding so quickly. I know how busy you are on set for like long days. And as soon as you get off set, I get a message from you. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to ask you, Janina, you know, how do you, as you know, as an Indian in America, still stay so connected to the motherland, still stay so connected?
Well, that's not really hard. I mean, we are legion. We are everywhere. We have filled the entire planet. You know, the sort of narrative that we are the minority is a joke. You know, I remember when I first moved to LA, the thing that I felt in my bones, you know, as people were talking to me, like, oh, it must be so hard. Oh, you know, there's so few of you. I was like, I don't know what world you're coming from, but we are legion. You know, I always felt the power and the strength of where I came from. So it's not hard, you know, at least for me, it's not hard. But, you know, and part of that is also remembering that all of our brothers and sisters that are in the trenches, on the ground in India, suffering right now, include the migrant and Dalit workers who are doing the most treacherous, traumatic, and dangerous work. And, you know, when the lockdown happened, they were the first people to be affected. And now they're here doing the work that nobody wants to do. And it's a terrifying time. And all of us, listen, this lineup of all your dope friends, my friends that we share that just showed up here today, we are very, very privileged people. And this is the moment where you can see that we are banding together to make sure that all of us can reach out and pledge and donate and spread the word if you can't. And, you know, basically take any moment we can to leverage any voice that we've been lucky enough to have and be heard and amplify each other and our people.
Totally. And I wanted to ask you, Janina, what is something that you have carried with you and learned from Indian culture and traditions that you think the entire world would benefit from knowing about?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, first of all, two things. We all know that there's just so many of us. If you think you know even just one recipe, there are 57 other million versions of the same thing with the same name. It's hilarious.
Yes.
But it's also, it's so exciting. You know, if there's anybody who, I'm sure there are so many people watching right now that are an Indian that might have, you know, an Indian family that they care about so much. But the greatest thing is that even the people you know, that is just scratching the surface of what we have as a culture. There's so much diversity in our massive community. Okay, this is kind of embarrassing. This is an example of how diverse it is, okay? So I was reading this script and it said, you know, they're like talking about Peony. And I was like, what is that? Because my whole family, we have ladus, but we don't have the same words. I was like, I'm the worst Indian. I just felt so embarrassed. I called my mother. I was like, I'm so embarrassed that I didn't know that. She's like, well, why would you? You know, like, that's not our thing. We have another thing. It's just, I just love that there's so much. It's just a treasure trove of culture and taste. And I still don't know what my grandmother's laddu recipe is. I actually I texted my aunt. I was like, do you even know what the like major ingredient is? And she said, I think it's besan. I was like, I've been researching nobody gave me a keyword to even, listen. I need some recipes. I need people who are in this chat to come to my Instagram and just tell me so I can learn how to make these things on my own. Let's just start with the sweets. Let's just start there.
And then go from there. Thanks, Janina, so much for sharing that. Yeah, I know. Indian food, I mean, you know, I could go on about Indian food for days. But thank you for sharing and thank you for supporting. It was so lovely to see you and hope to see you in person soon.
I know. I just need to hug you guys so hard. I miss you so much. Big love to you. Thank you to everyone who is donating. I know it probably feels like a drop in a black hole. It is not. It is not. Your money will be spent. So it will, how do you say, we can stretch. We can stretch these dollars. It will make such a difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Janina. You're the best.
Bye, guys. Bye, friends.
Another $12,000 while Janina was live with us, which is just absolutely phenomenal. We're watching the number go up. I hope you are too. I want to remind you all that please, please, please take this moment to donate as little as 10, whatever you can do. If you can do 100, 1,000, that's amazing. If you can do 10, that's amazing.
Because remember, it's doubled.
It's doubled and it counts and it makes a difference. And I want to remind you that Indiaspora is our $1 million matching partner. Every dollar is matched. We're getting so close to that million mark. We're at $745,065. We're getting so close to that $1 million mark. Please help us get there. I can't tell you how much it's going to help the people's lives that it changes.
So stay with us. We've got so much more for you.
So everyone, we are back for part 2. By the way, we've been doing this for around an hour now,
wow.
And it has been incredible to see your amazing, amazing support. We want to remind you that we're here today to raise funds for Give India, and our $1 million matching partner in Diaspora is going to match every dollar up to $1 million. We are nearly there. We need your help. We really do need your help to get there. And you can see that every dollar matters. We have $745,065. Each one of those dollars counts and will be doubled at the end of the fundraiser. So please take a moment right now. If you've been watching for an hour, if you've been watching for 10 minutes, if you just joined right now, I want you to take a moment to donate and take a moment to be a part of this impact and service. And make sure you share this video. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, share it with a friend, share it with your family, because I love how so many of us, all of you included, are coming together to make an impact together.
Next, we have a wonderful donor, another wonderful donor called Reshma. So lovely to meet you, and thank you so much for your generous contribution. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you decided to donate. Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing that. We really appreciate you, and yes, please, everybody, go ahead, donate. There's everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. There are so many platforms that you can go ahead and press the donate button. So please go ahead and do so.
Yeah, we want to thank Reshma again and in Diaspora for being our $1 million partner. And now we have some really exciting news that's just coming in. I found out about this very, very early today, and I wanted to wait to share it with all of you because it's just so beautiful and so powerful. So if you're listening right now, just listen in for this. We have a very, very generous person. His name is Vinod Khosla, and he is a incredible businessman and venture capitalist. And he has told us that he is also going to match every dollar up to $1 million, which means...
I'm not good at math, but I think that means...
Go on.
Every $1 means $3.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so every dollar just got tripled. So if you put in $1 today, it's not $1, it's not $2, it is $3. That means if you put in 100, that's 300. If you put in 10, it's 30.
If you put in 30, it's
90.
Hey, there you go.
I want you to recognize just how incredible this is, because without all of our partners' help, we would not have this ability to double and triple. So we have a video from Vinod that I would love to play right now. Watch this now. Hey guys. Hope you guys are doing great on Instagram. Thank you so much for staying with us. Keep spreading the word. That is amazing, Vinod. It's phenomenal what he's just done for us and for every single one of us. So the number that you see on screen, imagine that by the end of this fundraiser, it is going to be tripled. Not doubled, but tripled. So realize that any money you put in right now is going to be tripled. And I want to give a big shout out. I just got a message. As you can see, I keep checking my phone. It is all to just check for donations that are coming in personally and privately to me. I just got a message from Ritik Roshan's team in India, and he has just donated $15,000 to the cause. I am so grateful, Ritik, to you and your team, Akanksha, and everyone else that's back there, making sure that that's possible. We really appreciate your donation, Ritik. Thank you for being a part of this fundraiser. And as you just heard, that is going to be tripled. By the way, that counts for everyone who's already donated too. This isn't just from now. Every dollar that we have currently raised will be tripled thanks to Indiaspora, our $1 million matching partner, and Vinod, who came on very, very late to help us triple it. So now we are moving on to our next guest.
And next up, we have my dear, dear friend and incredible singer, songwriter, Janina Harrison. I have been a fangirl and a groupie of her for about 10 years now, not just because her voice is just absolutely magical, but because of the devotion and love and divinity that flows through her songs. I feel my heart transforms every day through listening to her music, and I really think devotional music is a great remedy to heal and uplift you all. So over to you, sweet Janny.